Okay, hi, good evening and a good day to Prof and my fellow friends. So today I'm going to present about the EFB, which is empty fruit bunch as fuel. So I'm going to share my slides right now. Okay, this is my first slide. So I'll introduce myself, Nitya Ganesh. My matrix number is 210665. This subject is for agricultural waste management. So today I'm going to present my topic about EFB as fuel. So let's go ahead. So firstly, uh, and EFB is an empty fruit bunch. So today I'm going to share some ideas about what, why, where, how, and the usage benefits, processes, and also the examples for the EFB as people are using as fuel. So basically, what is an EFB? So EFB is an empty fruit bunch. It's a kind of biomass formed during the production of process of palm oil. So EFB is basically an empty fruit bunch which previously consists of the fruits of palm oil. Then it was harvested, and then the the fruits without how to say, like, an EFB is a is a is a thing that is a thing which consists zero fruits of oil palm. So EFB that used to be disposed of as waste has recently been used as fuel as quantities have increased. So usually people throw away at those days. The days before, people used to throw away the EFBs. When they harvested the fruits, they just throw away the EFB. But recently, they have been used as fuel, which known as a biomass kind of energy. So EFB commonly has a high moisture content, which lowers the combustion temperature and reduces energy efficiency. Therefore, a drying process should be incorporated when designing an EFB power plant. So we'll move on to the next one. So why EFB is a biomass and why EFB are used as fuel? So EFB are a type of meal waste which is very valuable for farmers and many more. So they provide nutrients and increase the soil organic matter content of the soil. This one is for the compost. So I'll be not touching so much on the compost side. I'll be touching on the fuel side further on. So EFBs can be converted into briquettes. Palm biomass briquettes can become an important renewable energy fuel source to replace LPG or coal briquettes. So converting oil palm biomass into a uniform solid fuel through briquetting process appears to be potentially an attractive solution in upgrading its properties to add value as a fuel. So where EFB are used as a fuel? So first thing, boilers and power plants. So EFB is an excellent biomass fuel choice for the large power plant and centralized steam boilers. This is because with immediate advantages of lower cost for a little less calorific value. Boilers are mostly used at mills, palm oil mills, and so on. I went to some factories also which use steam boilers, water tube boilers. Some of the places are at Top Glove, Ipoh, and so on. So basically, boiler will convert the steam, or boiler will provide the steam to supply to create energy, to create electricity for the whole mill to operate the mill. So why and how the boiler provides steam? The boiler which we are using we will heat up the water by burning some kind of things, which is mostly EFB. So empty fruit bunch fiber, which is a fibrous material with fiber length variation of 10 until 20 centimeter. There are some big and there are some small EFBs with the reduced moisture content between 30 to 50%. This is because some boilers or some mills that are capable to provide a drying a drying section or drying power plant. So they'll just leave it, the AFB, after the fruits are being harvested. So they'll just leave the EFB to dry naturally. And by that, the EFB are used for the boiler as a fuel to, to power up, to steam up or to boil the water and to provide steam, which steam are being converted into electric energy for the whole meal. So another side, this is a small information. Another side, as composting is one of the methods to reduce the volume of waste. Its properties which have been enhanced during the composting process. EFB compost mostly returns to the soil as mulch to conserve soil moisture and acts as an organic fertilizer since it contains high nutrients needed by the plant. So how EFB as a fuel? So first thing, anti-fruit bunch is also used in conjunction with other fuel types to help regulate internal furnace temperatures by taking advantage of its raw state variable moisture levels. So sometimes the mill person or the mill parties will use the dry, mostly they will use the dry EFP to provide or to provide higher temperature so that the water can steam at a very fast rate. But sometimes if they tend to reach or they tend to over reach the limit of the temperature, they'll just use the natural EFP to reduce the temperature. And also it's because the natural EFP is high in moisture contents compared to the dry EFP. So another side, treated EFP is efficiently burnt inside the combustion chamber of steam boiler and generating steam to drive steam turbine and electric generator. Electric power is being generated continuously in this way. So as I said earlier, mills very much need the boiler. Basically, the boiler is an engine or is an heart for a palm oil mill or any other mills which uses boiler as their main electric converter or electric as their main steam supplier. So as they tend to provide or tend to protect their boiler, they will use less amount or a great amount of EFB so that they can save costs and so on. So the next benefits, EFB as fuel in boilers and power plants. So the benefits basically, empty fruit bunch fibers and pellet offer a cost-effective high-energy biomass fuel suitable for most boilers rating systems with an immediate advantages of lower cost for a little less calorific value. So when EFB are used, they are not using other sources of fuel, which certainly reduces their cost. Sometimes they tend to use direct electricity from TNB. Sometimes at some mills or some factories like Top Glove or other glove providing or glove creating factories, they tend to use electricity straight away. They create a line with TNB or so on. They tend to use the electricity straight away. But as for mill, they won't use because mill requires a ton of electricity, a ton of amount of electricity. If they tend to create or they tend to use the electricity line straight from TNB or somewhere else or some companies, their cost will be higher, top to the sky. So what is a calorific value? I'll explain. The energy content in a fuel or food determined by measuring the heat produced by the complete combustion of a specific quantity of it. So when the calorific value are less, so the less energy or the less efficiency, combustion efficiency is placed. So when the calorific value is high, the high combustion energy is placed. So as you guys can see, the picture that is shown is at the furnace where they are burning the EFB pellets as fuel. So moving on, the processes as fuel. So EFB is a kind of biomass, as I said earlier, formed during the production process of palm oil mill. Basically, commonly as a high moisture content, which lowers the combustion temperature and reduces energy efficiency. Therefore, a drying process should be incorporated when designing an EFP power plant. In this study, we stimulated a process that includes the drying process for 10 megawatt power plant and compared the optimized energy efficiency with an existing process. So people have found the optimum moisture content of AFP considering the temperature, time, flow rate, and critical moisture content of the drying process. At the optimum point, the moisture content of AFP was 7.79% and the efficiency was increased by 14.29%. So when the EFBs are dried or went through the drying process, the optimum moisture content was 7.79. By this, when the moisture content is reduced, the efficiency was increased by 14.29%. So some of them are use AFP, some of them are use pyrolysis reactors, continuous or batch, or bio oil upgrading treatment comparison, or least critical properties, water extraction, which is lower cost, solves the most critical properties, which are low, results in low pH, high oxygen and high water, high viscosity and thermal instability. And the main important thing is that the environmental impact, the carbon dioxide emission on greenhouse gases are being reduced very much. So by an additional info, biofuels for combined heat and power plant, CHP has highest greenhouse gases reduction of 218.6 kilogram of carbon dioxide, emitting 100 kilogram of carbon dioxide. So this is a very, very great and very great amount reduced by using EFP. Okay, these are my references. I've been listed some references over here. And that's all from me. Thank you so much for listening and lending your ears. Thank you.